Dear students, Namaste, good morning to you all, and also welcome to another session of online mathematics class. In the previous session, we have discussed around 10 questions from the miscellaneous exercise of chapter 3 matrices, and today we shall try to complete the miscellaneous exercise. Let's move on to the remaining questions. Let's begin with question number 10. The question is, a manufacturer produces three products X, Y, and Z which he sells in two markets. Annual sales are indicated below. There is a tabular column. Market 1 is below that it is first market and second market is mentioned, and the products in the first market 10,000, 2,000 and 18,000, 6,000, 20,000 and 8,000. Then next question is, if unit sales price of X, Y and Z are rupees 2.50, rupees 1.50 and rupees 1 respectively, find the total revenue in each market with the help of matrix algebra. And in the second question, if the unit cost of the above three commodities are rupees 2, rupees 1 and 50 paisa respectively, find the gross profit. So let us discuss the question once again. There is a tabular column. In that it is mentioned two markets, that is market 1 and market 2. And in market 1, the manufacturer sells X products, that is product name is X, in 10,000 numbers, 2,000 in numbers of Y product and 18,000 in numbers of Z product. And in market 2, he sells 6,000 of X product, 20,000 of Y product and 8,000 of Z product. And the question is, if unit sale prices of X, Y and Z are 2.50, rupees 1.50 and rupees 1 respectively. Unit sale prices means per quantity. For one quantity of X, you have to pay 2.50. For one quantity of Y, there is 1.50 rupees. And for one quantity of Z, there is 1 rupees respectively. That is a unit quantity. Unit quantity means single quantity, how much we have to pay. That is the unit sale price. Find the total revenue in each market. Total revenue in the sense, after selling these many products, 10,000, 2,000, 18,000 in market 1, how much he will get as the income. That is a revenue from the first market. After selling 6,000, 20,000 and 8,000 in market 2, how much he gets as income. That is the revenue from the second market. So let's solve the first question. The unit sale prices of X, Y and Z are respectively given as rupees 2.50, rupees 1.50 and rupees 1. From the question we have copied. Then in the matrix form we can write this data as a product of a row matrix and a column matrix. Means row matrix we will include the number of quantities, that is from the first market 10,000, 2,000 and 18,000, we will write it as row matrix, and in column matrix we will write the unit prices, the sale price, unit sale prices of X, Y and Z, that is 2.50, 1.50 rupees 1. Concept is quite simple. For one quantity we have to pay 2.50, means for 10,000 quantity what we have to do, just to multiply it 10,000 into 2.50. That is the basic behind this. So in the row matrix we have written the market values, number of items selling in the first market, that is 10,000, 2,000, 18,000, and in the column matrix we will write the unit sale price. So just to multiply it, when you multiplying, after multiplying you will get 10,000 into 2.50 plus 2,000 into 1.50 and 18,000 into 1, means there is only one row and one column, means you will get as a single element in the matrix. So when you calculate this, the final answer, it will come as 25,000 plus 3,000 plus 18,000. After adding, we will get the final answer, that is 46,000. And this 46,000 is the total revenue from market 1. Next we have to calculate is total revenue from market 2. So first we have to write it in the matrix form. For that we have to just write down the number of quantities which he sells from market 2, that is 6,000, 20,000 and 8,000, and the unit prices of the products, that is 2.50, 1.50 and 1. There is a row matrix, only one row, and a column matrix, means we will have only one column here. So resultant matrix will have only a single element. Just multiply it. 6,000 into 2.50 plus 20,000 into 1.50 plus 8,000 into 1 means first row and first column. That's all. Then just to multiply it, that is 15,000 plus 3,000 plus 8,000, adding final answer, that is 53,000. Just to pick and write the final answers, means rupees 46,000 he gets from the market 1 as his revenue, and from market 2 he gets rupees 53,000. Now move on to the second question, that is the unit cost price of X, Y and Z are respectively given as rupees 2, rupees 1 and 50 paise. Here the cost prices of products X, Y and Z are given to you. Rupees 2, rupees 1 and 50 paise. The question what we have to calculate is, we have to calculate is profit from market 1 as well as from market 2. So here also we have to represent this data in the matrix form. Let us write row and column matrix. From the first matrix we are getting 10,000, 2,000 and 18,000, and the unit prices now it is changing. The cost price, given cost price is 2 rupees 1 and 50 paise. 50 paise we are converting it into rupees divided by 100, so it becomes 0.50 rupees. Just row and column matrix, just multiply it. 10,000 into 2 plus 2,000 into 1 plus 18,000 into 0.50, multiply together, that is 20,000 plus 2,000 plus 9,000, so the final answer is 31,000. That is the total revenue in market 1 is rupees 46,000, that we have calculated from the first question. Here it is. And gross profit from his market can be calculated 46,000 minus 31,000, because 31,000 is the actual cost of CP, cost price, and 46,000 revenue from the first market. The profit can be calculated by subtracting these two, that is 46,000 minus 31,000, so the profit is rupees 15,000. Next we have to calculate the total cost price of products in market 2. We have to write in the matrix format. In the row matrix we have to write the number of products which is selling in market 2, and in the column matrix we have to write the cost prices. Just to multiply it, when you multiply you will get 6,000 into 2, 2,000 into 1 and 8,000 into 0.50. Multiply it, that is 12,000 plus 2,000 plus 4,000, adding together we will get it as 36,000. So that is the cost price of products which is selling in market 2. So we have to calculate the profit what he is getting. So the total revenue which he is getting from market 2 is 53,000, which we have calculated in first question. The profit can be calculated by subtracting 36,000 from 53,000. So total, that is rupees 17,000 is the profit from market 2. Next we shall discuss question number 11. The question is, find the matrix X so that X into matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is equal to matrix minus 7, minus 8, minus 9 and 2, 4, 6. We have to find out the value of, we have to find out X. X is a matrix. So first we have to write the given statement, matrix equation, that is X into matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is equal to matrix minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, 2, 4, 6. First and foremost thing we have to do is we have to find out the order of this matrix X. In which order the matrix X must have, so that this X and this matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can be multiplied and will get this as the answer. So first and foremost thing we have to calculate the order of this X matrix. So by using the given matrices, there is a matrix on the right hand side. That matrix is having an order of 2 by 3, means 2 row. Row number 1, row number 2, 2 rows and 3 columns. First column, second column and third column. So this, the order of the right hand side matrix is 2 by 3. And the left hand side also having another matrix, that is 2 rows. First row, second row, first column, second column, third column. Means 2 rows, 3 columns. The order is 2 by 3. That is the matrix which is given in the left hand side. That means X must have an order of 2 by 2 matrix. If X is having 2 by 2 matrix order only, then only we can multiply this X and this matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6 matrix. So X must have a 2 by 2 order. If you have a doubt in this area order of this matrix, please refer the matrix basics, matrix multiplication and its order. So it will be clear for you. Then let us assume the value of matrix X, that is matrix A, B, C, D. Then just substitute it in the matrix equation. X can be replaced and put our assumption, that is A, B, C, D into matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6 equal to minus 7 minus 8 minus 9 2 4 6. Go for the calculation part. As you know that matrix multiplication, first row first column, that is A into 1, that is A, then C into 4, that is 4C. First row is over. Then first row second column, that is A into 2 2A, then next C into 5, C into 5, that is equal to 5C, that is written here. Then first row third column, that is A into 3, that is 3A, 6 into C, that is 6C, that is over first row. Then second row, when you multiply, that is second row with the first column, that is B into 1, that is B, D into 4, that is 4D. Then next element is B into 2, that is 2B, D into 5, that is equal to 5D. Next element B into 3, that is 3B, plus D into 6, that is 6D, equal to on right hand side matrix. Now we have to equate the corresponding elements so that we will get the different equations. The first element A plus 4C must be equal to minus 7, that is what it is written. And the next element 2A plus 5C must be equal to minus 8. Next 3A plus 6C equal to minus 9. And another set of equations, if you write, B plus 4D must be equal to 2, that is here. Next is 2B plus 5D equal to 4, that is here. Next is 3B plus 6D equal to 6, that is mentioned here. Next we have to take the first equation, that is A plus 4C equal to minus 7. The first one we have taken. From there we have to calculate the value of A. A is equal to, this 4C will be coming on the right side, that is minus 7 minus 4C. Label it as equation number 1. Next the second equation I am taking, that is 2A plus 5C equal to minus 8 I am taking, and I am substituting the value of A here. So when you substitute the value of A, it becomes 2A, that is if you multiply 2 with this one, minus 7 minus 4C. So minus 7 into 2 minus 14, minus 4 into 2, that is equal to 8C, plus here already on 5C is there, that we have to write equal to minus 8. By using equation number 1 we are writing. This for the calculation. Minus 8C plus 5C is minus 3C equal to minus 8 plus 14. Minus 8 plus 14 is 6. From here C we can calculate. C equal to 6 divided by minus 3, that is equal to minus 2. Next we have to substitute in A itself. Equation number 1 itself we can substitute, that is minus 7 minus 4 into C, we have got the answer minus 2. Just to substitute it, that is minus 7 minus 4 minus 2, that is plus 8. We have written minus 7 plus 8, that is equal to 1. Now two variables we have got, A and C. Balance is B and D we have to calculate. For that B plus 4D I am taking. B plus 4D is equal to 2. I have taken. From here as before I have calculated B in terms of D. B is equal to 2 minus 4D. Just substitute it in the second part, that is 2B plus 5D equal to 4. I am substituting here 2B. Just multiply 2 here, that is 2 into 2 4. Then 2 into 4, that is equal to minus 8. D plus here on 5D is balance, that we have to add plus 5D equal to right side is 4. Same calculation part, that is 4 minus 8D plus 5D. Minus 8 plus 5 is minus 3. So minus 3D equal to, this 4 will go to the right side. 4 minus 4, 0. So finally we will get D is 0. This is substitute to get the value of B. Here 2 minus 4D, that is 2 minus 4 into 0. 2 minus 4 into 0 is equal to 2. So we have got all the variables value, that is A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to minus 2 and D is equal to 0. Therefore the required matrix is 1 minus 2 2 0. That is the answer. So here in this question, you must note this assumption part, that is x is equal to a, b, c, d. For that we have to get the order of the matrix x. So that is the key point here. We have to revise it properly if you did not understand. Now we shall discuss question number 12. The question is, if A and B are square matrices of the same order such that AB equal to BA, then prove by induction that AB power n equal to B power n into A. Further prove that AB the whole power n is equal to A power n into B power n for all n element of n. Here we have to write the given conditions. A and B are square matrices and AB equal to BA. And what we have to prove, that we have to write, that is AB power n equal to B power n into A. And this result we have to prove by the method of mathematical induction. This method we used in the previous session, that is in the first part of miscellaneous exercise. First we have to prove that the result is true for n is equal to 1. Next we have to assume that the result is true for n is equal to k, and by using that we have to prove that the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. Then by using these three conditions, if it is satisfied, then we can say that the result is true for every value of n. So first of all, we have to go for n is equal to 1. That is, p of 1 implies, left hand side if you take ab power n, ab power n is ab power 1, n is replaced and put 1. So ab power 1 is ab only. So next we have to go for calculating the right hand side, that is b power n into a. B power n is replaced by 1, that is b power 1 into a, that is equal to ba. But we know that ba and ab are same according to the given condition. So we can write simply as ab, that is equal to LHS, by using the property given condition ab is equal to ba. Next, we have to assume that the result is true for n is equal to k. We have to assume that the result is true for n is equal to k. P of k is equal to ab power n. N is replaced and substitute by k. That is equal to b power n into a. B power n. Again here n is replaced by k. That is b power k into a. Next, we have to prove that the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. So just substitute n replace and k plus 1 we have to put, that is ab power k plus 1 is equal to, we have to split this k plus 1. B power k plus 1 we have to write as b power k into b. So finally a remains the same there, a b power k into b. What we have done is this b power k into b, from here it came b power k plus 1 we split. Then ab power k we have already assumed here, that value you have to take, that is b power k into a into b. So this a into b power k is b power k into a. By our p of k value we have to substitute into b. Next, by using associative property we have to regroup it. That means b power k into a and b we have taken together. Now what we have to do is b power k into, as we know that by using the given condition we can write ab as ba, b power k into ba. Then again by using associative property we can regroup it. This b and b power k we can take together, b power k into b into a. That is equal to b power k into b is b power k plus 1 into a. Therefore the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. How we know? Because here it is instead of k we have got k plus 1, or simply if you check here b power n into a, instead of n we have k plus 1, b power k plus 1 into a. Therefore the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. All three conditions satisfied. Therefore by using the principle of mathematical induction we can say that ab power n is equal to b power n into a, n element of n. Next we have to prove that ab the whole power n equal to a power n into b power n. This also we have to prove by the method of mathematical induction. First part, n is equal to 1. When n is equal to 1, AB the whole power 1 is AB. Again A power 1, B power 1, that is also AB. So I am making it little bit short. AB the whole power 1 equal to A power 1, B power 1 equal to AB. Both also AB we are getting. Means the result is true for n is equal to 1. Next we have to assume that the result is true for n is equal to k. Means n should be replaced and substituted by k. AB the whole power k equal to A power k into B power k. Simple, just n replace and put k. Then we have to prove that the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. When n is equal to k plus 1 means AB the whole power k plus 1. Only left hand side AB the whole power k plus 1. This one we have to take and we have to split. That is AB the whole power k into AB. AB the whole power k into AB. Then AB the whole power k, it is calculated and kept here. That is A power k into B power k by our assumption. A power k into B power k into AB. Next we have to regroup it. That is this B power k and this A we have to take together by using the associative property. So A power k into next two we are taking together and the balance B just keep as it is. That is equal to A power k, this B power k into A, we can write AB power k into B. That is same. The reason is in the previous question, previous part we have proved, that is AB power n is equal to B power n into A. In the previous part we have proved. Because of that, B power k into A, we can write it as AB power k. Then that we have to regroup it again by using associative property. This A power k and this A we are taking it together. Then this B power k and this B taking it together. Then we can write it as A power k into A, that is A power k plus 1, into B power k into B, that is B power k plus 1. That means the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. Means here instead of n we have got k plus 1. Here also B power n is changed to B power k plus 1. Therefore we can conclude that the result is true for n is equal to k plus 1. Thus by the principle of mathematical induction we can say that AB the whole power n is equal to A power n into B power n for all natural numbers. Now move on to question number 13. There is a multiple choice question. Choose the correct answer from the following. That is, if A is equal to matrix alpha, beta, gamma minus alpha is such that A square is equal to I, then there are four options are given to you. 1 plus alpha square plus beta gamma is equal to 0. 1 minus alpha square plus beta gamma equal to 0. 1 minus alpha square minus beta gamma equal to 0. 1 plus alpha square minus beta gamma is equal to 0. So which one is the correct option we have to calculate. This question you will do it as homework. Now we shall discuss question number 14. If the matrix A is both symmetric and skew symmetric, then there are four options given to you. You have to choose the correct one. A is a diagonal matrix, A is a zero matrix, A is a square matrix, none of these. By using the given condition, A is both symmetric and skew symmetric, means A is symmetric as well as skew symmetric. If A is symmetric, we can tell that A transpose is equal to A. Again, A is skew symmetric means we can tell that A transpose is equal to minus A. By using these two conditions, we can tell that A is equal to minus A because both the side A transpose is there. So we can tell that A equal to minus A. Then just a little bit of calculation, bring minus A to the left side. That is A plus A is equal to 0 or 0 matrix, whatever it is. Then 2A is equal to 0 matrix. That is A is equal to 0 matrix. Means A is a zero matrix is the answer, and when you analyze the four options, the correct option is D, option B. So option B is the correct one. Now move on to the last question of miscellaneous exercise. If A is a square matrix such that A square is equal to A, then I plus A the whole cube minus 7A is equal to. Four options are there. First option is A, second one is I minus A, third one is I, fourth one is 3A. So this question also you will do it as homework. Dear students, now we have completed the miscellaneous exercise. Also, we have completed chapter number 3, matrices. And we have solved all the previous year questions also from this chapter. And you have to go through all these questions and all these exercise once again. And if you feel any inconvenience or doubt, please feel free to ask. Thank you for watching.